Hello, Ryan. Hello, well, welcome to Biohacking Joe Bains, and this is Life Hacks. I have here Kathryn Haggis. We're in Scotland, so she has a perfect name. I presume she's half Scottish as well. So we're going to talk about life hacks. So how have you? Do you want to tell us about your show first?
Sure. I'm in a show that is actually it's called Watching Glory Die. And it is written by Judith Thompson, a very famous Canadian playwright, and it is about segregation in our broken penal system. So it is basically myself, the mother, and the inmates, just the three of us. It's a 70-minute show in the ballroom of the assembly rooms, and it moves pretty quickly. There's some lightness in it, but essentially this changed the laws of restraint in Canada. This very case, it's based on a true story about Ashley Smith, who was a young girl incarcerated at 14 and then eventually segregated and went into federal prisons by 18 and killed herself. It's a very sad story. While guards were ordered to not, it's a very sad story. I'll let you see the play, but that's what it's about.
And what year is this supposed to be?
It was in 2007 that it actually killed herself. Yeah, and we place it. We don't use her name, but we do use the story, and we place it in 2018.
Okay, you're from Canada, right? And
that's right.
You heard of Jordan Peterson.
That's right.
He's a massive. He's a tour de force.
He is a tour de force right now in yes,
in the world.
In the world.
In
the world. No, that's
Canada,
right. Yeah, forget Canada. It is bigger than that.
Yeah. So what are your views on Jordan Peterson? I'd just be curious because I follow a lot of what he says rings true for me.
Does it? Yes.
Because he seems to have a massive men following.
He does. I think he does. I think he's protecting the right. Actually, Scotland penned this in the 1700s about freedom of speech. And that is my understanding, that he is not, that he is trying to protect freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Is my take on it. Primarily because I know that a lot of people think that he's not following a certain code, he's not using politically correct terms, he's refusing in some cases to identify certain people that are transitioning, for example, their sexuality or their gender. But I actually don't think it is because he doesn't believe that is what he should be doing. I think it's primarily because people are telling him what to say, and that is in fact his stance, from what I understand. So in some ways I would say, we need somebody like Jordan Peterson to protect the rights of free speech.
Yeah. I mean, I like his thing on self-identifying, where somebody can say, I'm a man or a woman, and change their gender whenever they want. So I do a joke on that. I play with the audience on that, and at the end I say, I also self-identify, because I think it's important. I self-identify as a white supremacist. Which gets that reaction, basically.
It's that reaction, sure.
Which is really good, yeah. So I play around with the audience trying to see if I can get a reaction from it. So I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think initially, we're sort of like, oh, that's not right. But sometimes I feel like whenever we say that's ridiculous, we actually have to ask ourselves, is it?
Yeah.
And sometimes I have found that anyways, that if you judge too quickly, too fast, without educating yourself. So the more I read about him, and the more I understood his actual mandate to protect his right for self-expression, freedom of expression, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, and he doesn't. He's the other thing. I think the reason men follow him, because he's true to himself. If he's going to say something and he thinks he's going to upset you, he doesn't care.
No.
And that's what a man is. That's what that's what drives. And so that's why he has such a big following.
Sure, he's provocative in that way.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think though
he's polarizing. That's the word I said.
That's true.
Polarizing.
That's true. And I've talked to a lot of men who have changed how I feel about this situation, actually. Because if you read the papers and if you read the headlines, you will hate him.
Yeah.
And you will think that he should be taken out of the system, the educational system. But it's actually deeper than that. And yeah. So I can't say that I am totally against him. Sorry, I just dropped the wedding ring I use in the show.
Okay.
So I'm really not married, but I often forget to take it off. So everyone in Scotland thinks I'm married.
Oh, excellent.
Hey, which is fun.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. I like that. Yeah. So life hack. So tell us, how have you optimized your life?
How have I optimized my life? Well, I did not have a very traditional sort of, I'm going to say, upbringing. My parents owned a bar for 45 years, and I'm going to say that it was untraditional in that I can't say there was a ton of guidance. Not that I'm upset by that, but it allowed me to march to the tune of my own drummer. And I think it also, my parents I was very fortunate in that they weren't alcoholics. I do, I really actually think they did an amazing job. They had big hearts. They were great storytellers and have a good sense of comic timing. And I think I trusted that I wasn't going to fit into any kind of category, and so I just kind of trusted in that. But I felt like I knew right from wrong and had sort of a good moral code. So whatever that is, I mean, I just I wasn't going to end up in jail.
Yeah, that's good.
So prison was not an option at that point. So yeah, I feel like I trusted my instincts and did kind of what I wanted.
Did you have like a morning routine or a routine before going on the stage, or?
I certainly have a pre-show routine. I didn't, and when I say this, I mean, I'm talking from, the time I got out on my own, basically. I had no real discipline, which was a drawback because there's a lot of freedom within structure. And growing up the way I didn't have a ton of structure. So what I had to learn was to structure myself a little bit, to give myself some, and that translates. After I went to theater school, I think that made a big difference. I learned, before theater school, I sort of felt like I was in a movie all the time. I was on the outside looking in at my life. And when I went to theater school, that changed all that. It taught me that I needed to be clear in who I was, so that I can play other characters and have someone to come back to. So there's a rule in theater school that if you can't come back emotionally, you need a therapist, not a director.
Yeah.
It also taught me to listen, and it taught me to do something, to put my focus on what I'm doing, so I become more myself in the process. And that's why you see musicians with their face kind of all screwed up, because they're focusing on their music. And once I started to do things and put my focus on what I was doing, A, I got more things done, and B, I was able to become more myself in the process.
Okay. And then do you have any kind of morning routine?
I do now, especially when I have a show, yeah. So I was trying to work out and swim and stretch and do those kinds of things before workout, but I think the show in and of itself is a workout. It's not a physical thing, it's an adrenaline thing. So what I do is I make sure I meditate. I come up the hill. I'm sharing an apartment with two other kids, basically, they're young. So I come up the hill before them. I meditate in the lobby of the space. It's okay if there's distractions around. The whole point is to listen to your breath and kind of get grounded. And then I read over the script and I warm up my voice. I do scales and then I feel like with that little bit of physical, just to get up the hill and stuff and do a little stretches, that I'm kind of good to go. It's about kind of not caving and getting scared out there.
Okay.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think you've learned? What do you think in your life that could be useful to others, like somebody else starting out in wanting to do this?
So I think it is, like I said before, a lot of people don't realize that acting is about listening. It's listening to each other on stage. It's not about sort of taking up the space and becoming the center of attention. I know sort of a lot of people feel that acting is a very self-absorbed business, and I think it's a celebrity, saturated situation.
Yeah.
But you actually have to do things out there. So if you're the doctor, you have to take the pulse, or if you're waiting for a bus, you're an actor in waiting. So you actually have to do a few things that. So I would suggest that you get some training. It's not something actually that you can wing for very long. It's a little, it's like music. You may have the ability to play C, D, and G, but you actually might want to, which is all Elvis knew and more, but you might want to get some training and, learn how to use your body and your voice, because it's an instrument and you have to use it every day, then it can wear out.
What voice?
Everything, your body, like, it's, there's adrenaline, and there's a high level of adrenaline regardless of how many, people are even in the audience. Certainly if it's a full house, it's very hard to come down from, and it's something that can interrupt your sleep. We can be hard on ourselves when things in live theater go wrong, and they do because we're human and no one's perfect. I think we can be really hard on ourselves, and we're working together as a team, and we're trying to put together an ensemble of sorts.
Yeah.
So you have to work with each other. Yeah.
Okay. And is this the first show you brought into Edinburgh?
Very first show I've ever been to within Edinburgh. I did a show at Canada House in England, in London.
Okay.
As I was a friend of mine, Rick Bland, wrote, and I was that was my first introduction, maybe in doing a show in the UK. So this is my first though in Edinburgh, and certainly my first here at the Fringe Fest. This Fringe Fest.
Okay. In London, I live in the Docklands,
yes.
And I live in an area, just a very small area, called Canada Water.
Oh.
And the reason it's called Canada Water is because in the old days, because it's a Docklands, the wood that used to come from Canada used to get unloaded at that point.
Interesting.
And so that's why they call it Canada Water.
Okay.
So
Water.
So I live in Canada, really.
Yeah. There you go. You're Canadian.
Yeah, half Canadian.
Love it.
There you go. Yeah. And what are some pivotal moments in your life that made you grow or led to an epiphany?
Going to theater school was very pivotal for me. I was 30 years old. I couldn't sort of make a decision on what I wanted to do before then. I did a lot of hospitality because I grew up in that industry. But like I said, I felt like I was in a movie, and I felt like I was watching myself in a movie. I don't know how else to explain it. It just didn't feel like I was grounded and living, and I didn't have any sort of goals picked. But when I went to theater school, that changed, and I became more myself. And I realized that actually I was glad, that I didn't go till I was 30, so I had lived a full life.
Yeah.
And so I would say theater school was pivotal, and it taught me to listen, or at least it, more so than other. You know what I mean by that? Yeah. People sometimes wait until their turn to talk, but they don't really listen. And
most people don't listen.
Yeah, I know doctors and lawyers that don't listen. So I felt like that, regardless of whether I practiced theater, I felt like it gave me some good ground rules for life.
I do stand-up comedy, and one of the problems I found was that when I'm on stage, I was in my head. So I went to clown school.
There you go.
I did 2 weeks of clown where we weren't allowed to talk.
Yes, good.
And so you couldn't, tell jokes, but you still had to tell jokes with your body.
That's it. That's your instrument.
I struggled because I was the only comedian, and I struggled more than the people who'd never been on stage, because I was always trying to think,
Yeah.
And then she was like, no, you can't think. You've got to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And so I actually want to go back and do clown school again, because I want to be in the present.
Yes.
And then the words should take care of themselves. So yeah.
I think it's a very big, and you have a brilliant face, I think, for comedy.
Do I?
Yeah, like I can see your eyes are very expressive, and I can see that you could But again, yeah, that's you getting your. So again, I had this physical body. I swam lots and was athletic, but it wasn't in sync with my heart and my mind. Yeah, it was kind of detached. So, and I was really a smart kid, and I read a lot. Not to toot my own horn. I mean, I wasn't, but I kind of was intellectualizing everything and not feeling everything. And I know that kind of all sounds very cliche, but. And once I started to feel, that's all I could do, and that was a bit much too, right? But because then you gotta find that balance.
Yeah.
So I would have to say getting some other help, not just theater school, but realizing I did have stuff I wanted to work out and going to find some, I went to a good therapist and eventually he recommended me to a group type therapy because it actually emulated like a family.
Yeah.
And that helped me a lot.
Yeah,
it really did. It was a couple of things that, I realized that everybody has issues and everybody feels lonely and everybody feels isolated sometimes, but it really helped me connect with how I was feeling and what to kind of work on and what not to buy, what not to lose myself in, or
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So what do you consider to be the qualities to become successful? And success you can measure however you measure it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think that again, there's freedom within structure. So I'm not going to say money's not important, but it's not important. Like it's to me anyway. I have a privileged life, I believe. I was born in North America. I am, I don't have the same struggles as my friends who are not white. I don't, it's not, I've been fortunate. I have a good set of teeth. I'm healthy. That said, I think that what's important is generosity, and not to a fault, but
you can take the seat. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
There's no room at the back.
No, please. Yeah. Generosity. There's that. That's okay.
It's all good. Yeah.
So I think there's certain things that we need to have boundaries and we need to be. To not necessarily overshare too fast is sometimes a little dangerous, but I think ultimately you have to give something of yourself to people, and I think kindness goes a long way. These are the things that are successful. I find people like those successful traits of when people are kind and when they can be considerate of others and generous and help other people, and I think that makes for a successful life.
And what gets you up in the morning every day?
Well, I got really excited about my life in the last little while because I realized I have the potential to do these projects, and I'm ready. I'm 107 years old, but so it's taken me a long time to realize it. But I feel like ready to really start listening to my instincts and to start writing more and to trust that I'm on the right path and
Sure, that's all right. That's okay.
My dear.
That's all right. No, it's fine.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
We were just talking about kindness, so
Yeah.
Don't worry about a thing.
Well, the next line, when you're doing it.
Yes, we'll tell you.
Not intentional.
No, of
No,
course
it's
not.
fine. It's good.
So somebody just took that little camera there. Thinking,
That's all right.
We're okay. So, where were we?
About what gets you up in the morning?
Okay, what gets me up in the mornings? I'm excited about a few projects I've got to go, and I have a feeling they're going to work. And after being here for a month and touring around the city and thinking about and making some notes, I think I'm on the right path. Yeah, without getting too much into it.
Where are you going after Edinburgh? Are you going to go
I'm
back?
going to go back home, and I actually coach really fast 10-year-old swimming. And so I coach fast 10-year-olds, and then I coach a couple of other groups, and I really enjoy that job. It's been 5 years in the making of the schedule for it and learning all about how to do it. And so what I'm grateful for is that it allows me the flexibility to do more writing in the daytime and auditioning. And so I'm going to get some projects done that I've been working on for a while, but they're ready to wrap up.
Okay. Yeah. And then what are you most grateful for in life?
Wow, I'm most grateful for my able body.
Okay. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 58 in September. Okay. I'm 57.
Yeah.
I know, it gets tired and run down and it's not perfect in its size, but I can stand and brush my teeth and I can, walk to the store and I can ride and run. I'm not a great runner, but I could swim and I can, I can dress up, I can dress down, I can go where I want and do what I want. And there's so many people who are not given, who don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
And I really feel that that's, every day I have to be thankful for that.
Okay. Good, because what I do is every morning I get up, I look at yesterday and look at what 3 things am I grateful for yesterday.
Right.
And there's a guy in India called Sadhguru, and he says the most important thing when you first wake up to be grateful for is that you woke up.
That you woke up.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I think that. And that your little soul was sort of guided through sleep. And then, in some way that, you weren't hurt or interrupted or, like that in some way. I always find that kind of amazing. At the end of a long day, you can close your eyes. I have a roof over my head. I've had this privilege to be here with an Airbnb and, I find it really amazing sometimes that you fall asleep at night and you wake up 8 hours later, and you get out of bed and get a chance to do it over again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because I think it's like 500,000 people in the world, or something like that, don't wake up the next day.
They don't wake up the next day.
Yeah, well, they just pass away.
They pass away in their sleep.
In their sleep, yeah.
See, I'm working on a little project. I have a friend in my life. He's my boyfriend, actually. He's quite a bit younger than I am, but he did a very tough job and he picks up dead bodies.
Wow.
And he did it for a lot of years. He's gone back to school now and taken an early childhood education, but I've written a story called Dead On. It's about these young men that are picking up dead bodies because there's so many people dying. And I'm hesitant to say too much more on here. I have the rights to it, so don't take it anybody. But it's just that, and it was we have a lot of chats, he and I, about people my age that he picks up, and they are living alone. They don't even have a cat. They have no pictures of their family. They have no one there when they go. To me, I gotta say, I have a lot of friends. I got an able body. I get stuff sometimes. I get tired and I run out of money, and I can't. A year in between jobs and yada yada yada, right? But I somehow always end up at a barbecue,
Barbecues are my best. I'm actually this Saturday. There's a barbecue. If you're
I would love to go. Sure.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a performance barbecue. Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you say a foreman's barbecue or a foreman's barbecue?
Oh, performance.
Oh, performance barbecue. Yeah.
So there'll be loads of people there.
Sure, I love that.
I'll send you the details. Yeah,
sure,
it'll be good.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, like that. Here I am. I'm a starving actor in sort of not starving, but I'm in Scotland, and I don't have a ton of money. Every pound is $2 of our dollars.
Yeah, you would say.
So it's not the easiest gig for us, but I've eaten a lot of meals at home, and now I'm going to barbecue.
Exactly.
So come on now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm guess how old I am, by the way.
I have no idea. You look amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm
51.
51. This man is 51. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, but I used to be fat.
I understand that. Yeah. And very not able. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. And I used to be married as well. So.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that. Is that?
They can age you really fast.
Is that right?
The wrong woman. The wrong
person. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, or the wrong person.
Yeah, wrong. Yeah. Just. I guess. Yeah. in my case, for sure. I mean, I never did marry. I ended up, I guess that was pivotal too. I almost got married to a man in Greece. My father's Greek and my mother's Scottish, and it's the birth of democracy, Greece, but it's not the most democratic for women. And so I chose not to do it, and I came back here to Canada, and I decided to be an actor. And I went to New York City, and I studied, and I just have never really looked back. I kind of married my career, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I coach kids. I get a lot of that in my life, and I have my dear friend Soren. We've been together now for 5 years. He is a very good part of my life, and yeah, I feel very blessed that way.
Awesome. All right. Anything else you want to say? So.
Yeah, just follow your dreams, and that's, I guess, be grateful if you have an able body and you're able to make choices, and yeah, and be generous with your spirit. I don't mean with your money. I just mean with your spirit, and be kind.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So this is Biohacking Go Bains Life Hacks, and I'll put this up. I'll put all your links, everything. Brilliant. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.